let's talk about the All-Star Mile. Last week in the big event, the Newmarket Lammy, all the usual suspects were up the front and finished 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it going to be similar here?
I think so. I think it's a really good race, but I think it's a skinny race. I've only got sort of 3 chances, possibly 2 chances, and going again with the usual suspects, the ones we've seen dominate the weight for age ranks over the last couple of years.
What about the fresh faces, like the Laws of Indices and She's a Belter, who ran very well last week in Sydney?
She's a Belter was awesome.
Yeah.
And I think Laws of Indices is not without a chance here. He's been so good in these big mile races without winning. Went over to Hong Kong, of course, and ran a massive race there. So I think he's probably the forgotten horse in the race. Well,
they're from Sydney. We get the inevitable who never loses, comes from Tassie. And of course, we've got Alan Quer, who comes from overseas. So they're all attacking the usual suspects.
Yeah, I think I love the inevitable, but I'm not sure the Tassie form is the right reference for a race like this. And Alan Quer would be a huge training performance to get this horse to win first up. Its overseas form is obviously world class at its best, but first up at the Valley in a race that's going to be run at a frantic tempo, might just be a little bit vulnerable late, but is a chance.
All right, we'll get to your tips, but Alligator Blood is the favourite, well backed, shortening all the time, deserves to be favourite on form, doesn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, he was awesome winning the Futurity first up, and thought that was probably their race to beat him, given he was first up and key rivals had a bit of a fitness edge on him. They couldn't do it. He's even better second up, 7 starts for 4 wins and 2 minor placings. So he's a hard horse to go around, Matty.
You got the Alligator on top?
Got the Alligator on top. I think ignore the Cox Plate run. 2000 on a heavy track probably sees him out. He's just not as effective on wet ground, but back on a dry track, just quickly, last 4 on good tracks, Group 1 Stradbroke, Group 1 Underwood, Group 1 Cantarlac, Group 1 Futurity. So pretty hard to knock him.
Ding, 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 ding. Second and third?
Mr. Brightside, I think, is the main danger, especially given he's drawn in. That's a big advantage for him because 2 races where he's had to go back recently in the Ore and the Cox Plate, he's just been left with too much to do. But I think he settles a lot closer. Problem is he just doesn't beat Alligator Blood.
That's right.
The last 3 times they've clashed, it's been at least a length. So Mr. Brightside for second. I'm thunderstruck for third, but I can't see him turning the tables on Alligator Blood.
With or against?
I'm against.
Ooh, controversy.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of speed here. You look at Keats, he's going to be going forward. Gentleman Roy's going to be going forward. Alligator Blood's drawn in between them. So if one of them wants to really kick on and lead, it just might be on a little bit in those early stages.
He's proven he can just sit behind the leader, can't he?
Yeah, well, the other one that's going to be sitting behind the leaders is Mr. Brightside. And how important are barriers in these big races? And Mr. Brightside has got the absolute cherry draw here. Loves the Valley. I can see him lobbing sort of 4th, 5th, somewhere like that. If he starts to get a crack at him from the 400 and so he's building momentum off that corner, I think he'll win. I think Laws of Indices is the forgotten horse. I think he brings Animo form to this race. We say Animo's the best horse in the country. Well, he's been 2.4 and 1.7 lengths off him. He just needs to win. Next best for me, Alligator Blood. He's so reliable, isn't he?
I'm with Lammy. I'm with the Alligator. I've got I'm Thunderstruck, who finally gets to 1600 and likes the Valley for second, and a roughie for third in New Zealander Aegon. Last time at 1600 wasn't far behind Alligator Blood in the Champions Mile in the spring. All right, that's the All-Star Mile, Lammy. Give us your best bets and your value.
Best bet, I think we double our money early in the day, Matty, very early in the day. Race 1, number 1, Midwest, just a 1,000-metre flyer, this horse, 2 from 2 at the Valley. I think we'll be way too quick for them. Next best, Amenable, liked him in the court.
I knew you'd have Amenable, you had to.
Liked him in the Guineas, it was a bit of a horror show. I think we back up here, $3. Have a saver on CR7 at $11. Just back those 2 there. And the best value for me, race 6, number 8, Fluorescent Star, $9. 2 runs back from a break have been really good, and the Yagi stable on fire, 18% this year, 65 ROI if you're backing the Yagis this year.
I was in Adelaide on Cup Day, and I had a champagne with Amy Yagi after she won the Cup. And I said, how's your week looking? And she said, Fluorescent Star. She said, I reckon I'll get 2 stakes races in a week.
You heard it first right here on Punters Inside Run. Give us your best bets and your value.
Race 5, number 5, Munamek. He won last time. I know he's been up forever, but he's just so reliable. And he's racing against a field of stayers, first or second up. So I think he's just the right horse in the right race again. Best value for me, race 9, number 10, CR7. Lammy mentioned it. The run last time was huge. I think he's over the odds in this race. All
right, I've got the same as Lammy for to start the day. Best bet, race 1, number 1, Midwest. Put some money in the account. And then race 2, number 12, Fearless Rider. Got the run up the inside of the Valley last time. I don't think benchmark 70 will be a problem. I think it's got a little bit of talent, this filly, and I think she's on the way up. That is my value bet. All right, that is the All-Star Mile and our best bets for the Valley. Coming up, Simon O'Donnell will join us for a look at the big races at Rosehill.
If you're in love with racing, then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's better. Gamble responsibly.